So another question we get real often is, why is it called Lego Serious Play in the first place? So why is it called Lego Serious Play? Well, the Lego part is easy. So not only do you use Lego bricks in the process, it's very hard to do without Lego bricks, but it's also really born at Lego. It started at Lego, and even more specific, you say it's born with an idea from the owner of the Lego company. An idea about really wanting to take some of his beliefs about what is good leadership and how do you do that and what is the potential in people, and they believe in what his product could do. So that's the Lego part. So not only is it born there, but it captures a lot what the company and the owner family stands for. So that was important to carry that. It's called Serious Play, but partly because it has an interesting contradiction in it, because it's serious and it's play, and also because you are playing and you are playing seriously. And playing seriously means you're playing with a purpose, you're playing with an intention, you know you're playing and you know you're doing it for a reason. And you're doing that, and you're doing it really because you want to develop new knowledge. And you know that when you play, it does wonders for the brain, it helps you make new connections in the brain, and it develops your knowledge. You play also because you know you're safe when you play. It's in that sense, it's risk-free to play. You know that when you're playing, you are imagining things. They're not actually happening, but you're imagining that they're happening, which means that you can test and you can probe. You can really explore and you can experiment with the things that you're making, that you are starting to understand. You can more say, you can explore what would happen. It doesn't actually happen, and all of this helps you develop new knowledge, basically. So that's why it's called Lego Serious Play. So maybe you can take sort of the latter part, Robert, there and elaborate a little bit on it with some examples.
At least let me try, because a big part of playing is also using your imagination to play out things which ultimately will prepare you better for real life. So let's think about when you play a fire drill. You play that there's a fire, but of course there fortunately is no fire. But why do you play a fire drill? You play the fire drill so you can learn how to react best and fast, make best decisions if the fire really should happen, right? Then you know what to do, and then you will make better decisions. But the real benefit of that, of course, is that you will ultimately make better decisions should the fire happen. But the point is really that by playing out what if there's a fire, you will learn much more about how does the system react, how do you react, what seems to work in the way you do things, what doesn't seem to work in the way you do things, how are your instructions being understood, etc. So you learn a whole bunch of stuff that will help you be much better prepared for life in general, also when there's no fire. So this same thing also if you are training to become a pilot and you are in a flight simulator. You are imagining that you are flying, but you're not really flying, but you imagine you're flying. But by playing that, you will understand much more about how you react to things and what do you know and what do you not know and stuff like that. So when we say play with a purpose, and when you say play with a purpose, this is the purpose. It's to prepare you better, not just for that specific event, but about many, many things in general. That's why it's called Lego Serious Play, play with a purpose. And this purpose is to make you better decisions on an everyday life plan. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.